Hello and welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. In this video, I want to show you how to do a cast on that resembles the tubular cast on, but it isn't nearly as fiddly or have as many steps as the tubular cast on has. I find that this particular cast on is really great when you're using a bulky or jumbo weight yarn and you are looking for a look that resembles the tubular cast on, but not actually use the tubular cast on. Clear as mud, right? Let me show you what I mean. As you take a look at this hat pattern down here, you can see that the edging right down here at the bottom looks like a really great stockinette stitch edge, right? Looks like it just kind of rolls over. And I created that by doing the cast on I'm going to show you today. As I turn the hat over, you can see that it goes immediately into the garter stitch, which is what this base of the hat is. But right here, there's a very subtle ridge, and that is actually one portion of my longtail cast on, and the other portion of my longtail cast on was picked up and knit together with my stitches that were on my knitting needle. What that did was create a really nice curve to the edge of my hat right here. This is really similar to how you would do a picot edge. If you've ever done a picot edge before, it's the same process, only we're not doing the knit two togethers and yarn overs to create that picot edge. We're simply keeping it in stockinette. As I mentioned, this is a really great cast on to use to get that really nice stockinette stitch edge without doing an actual tubular cast on, and it's great for bulky weight yarn. Let me show you how to do this real quick. We move this out of the way, and because I'm assuming you already know how to do the longtail cast on and how to knit and purl, I'm not going to waste your time with that. But what I've done here is I have cast on, used the long tail cast on with this teal color. And you do not have to use an opposite color. I'm simply using one to better show you in the video what stitches I'm going into. Once you cast on with the longtail cast on, you want to work in stockinette stitch for another 5 rows. So if you remember, the longtail cast on creates a really nice knitted stitch. So your very first stitch after your longtail cast on, those are going to be purls. So you'll purl a row, knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, purl a row. And on the next knit row, that's where the action happens. What we're going to do is we're going to take this little bit of fabric here that we have cast on and worked these few rows of stockinette, and we're going to fold it. See how I'm just simply folding it, just like so. This fold, this edge right here, that's going to be the new edge of my hat or whatever portion of the project you're using this for, okay? Doesn't have to be a hat, it could be anything. What I want to do here is with these stitches, I want you to take a look here. As I'm looking at the teal stitches and they're folded up, can you kind of see how they create the nice V looking stitch here at the bottom? Can you see that? What I want to do is I want to take my right hand needle, I'll go into this stitch that's on my left hand needle, so my orange stitch, and I'm also going to go into the leg of the V. So if the V's are like this, I'm going into the right one, and I'm going to knit this stitch and that stitch together. Once I've done that, I will knit this one with the next stitch, this one with the next stitch, so on and so forth. And what that will do is it will leave these loops right here remaining, and that'll be that nice little ridge on the inside of the hat that I showed you earlier, but it will connect this to this, creating a really nice seam right here, or nice edge, I should call it. So here we go. This is how I like to do this. Now you could take another set of needles and go into this edge stitch down here to make it work, but I don't think you need to do that. You simply take your needle, go into the orange, and then go into the corresponding stitch. Yarn over, and then you'll pop it through both of those and off. So I'm into the orange, I'll go into the corresponding. Can you see there? It's the next right leg of the stitch below. And I will knit. So I'll bring that yarn over through that teal one, then I bring it through the one on my needle and off. In, go into the next one, and off. In, going to the next one, and off. Now what's really great about using this particular cast on method versus a tubular is that you don't have to alter the number of stitches you cast on. You can just cast on directly into the number of stitches you need, whereas when you do a tubular cast on, you usually will start off with half the number of stitches you actually want, and then you create the extra stitches. But I find this is just, it looks really good with some stockinette here. I haven't tried it with ribbing, full disclosure, so I don't know how it works with ribbing yet, but I will give that a try. However, just doing this all the way down the row, if you were doing this all in one color, your little edge there would barely show up. It makes it so that this edge is really nice and clean up against your head if you're doing this for a hat. And voila. I can set that down real quick just so you can see. Right here, you can see I have this really nice curved edge right here, which was exactly what I showed you on the hat earlier. But when I turn this over, you can see there's that nice little tiny ridge right there of the teal color, and that's the leg we did not pick up, and it's just resting right there. So it's not a true tubular cast on in that it's not completely invisible, but it is a good alternative, especially for a bulky weight yarn. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hat one more time so you can see what it looks like in the actual hat. You can see here that there are some nice knit stitches. They roll over. There is my ridge. That's the leg that I didn't pick up. For this particular hat, I did only do 3 stockinette stitch rows, and then I jumped into the joining row versus 5 rows and then the joining row. And that's just because when I was working with the bulky weight yarn, I thought it looked better with the fewer rows. It made it a little bit trickier because there wasn't as much fabric to fold up, but I managed just fine. This particular hat pattern is free over on marleybird.com. You can click on that little button right there and it'll take you there. Or if you check out the video description box below, right down there, you can find a direct link to the pattern as well. While you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button, as my kids say, and make sure you subscribe so that way you're up to date whenever there's a new video released right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Hopefully this will help you out and you have a new tool to add to your knitter's toolbox as you're making some great gifts all through your knitting season. Thanks. Hey, don't leave yet. I'm sure there are other videos here that you will enjoy. Go ahead and check out some of my knitting and crochet videos as well as some of my crafting videos. You will love them, I promise. If you hit subscribe, you'll be up to date whenever there's a new video released. And as my kids say, don't forget to smash that like button. Bye. Everything you need to know about knitting or crochet can be found right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Learn with Marley Bird. Visit youtube.com/Marley Bird.